And then so yeah, the story could end here with the father-in-law accepting the golden child as he is, but then he has a dream and he's sent out, and he's sent out into the forest again, this time to hunt. So there's a kind of progression here from earlier in the story when he was in the forest, when he just needed to like keep his eyes straight ahead of him and not be killed by highwaymen. In this case, um, he actually has he's been told by his unconscious that he actually has to go out and catch something. But yeah, again, there's the golden child leaving, and there's maybe this sense of his vulnerability where the wife is very scared for him and, asks him to be very, very careful. And then he goes out to hunt, but he's not able to catch the stag, right? And then he comes upon a building with somebody in it, and there's danger there. And this is a witch in a cottage, and they seem to have a benign interaction at first. And she asks him, "What are you doing so late in the middle of a great forest?" And he says, "Have you not seen a stag?" So he's been hunting something that his intuition or some spirit has told him is out there for him to acquire. And then she says, "Yes, and I have seen the stag. I know the stag well." Like it's something that is special. It's not just some deer. This is maybe some idea. Maybe this is some kind of temptation or something not good, right? Maybe
What's
the
that?
point. I'm sorry. Yeah, the
I
stag.
mean, this,
I know the stag well. It sounds like she's talking about some specific thing. It's the white whale or something. I don't know.
yeah,
But
I know it's
anyway,
like this.
yeah.
Well, I remember it's like a stag is like a sacred animal in a way, but I don't really know
Oh, by whom?
about it. I don't know, like I think like Native American tribes,
That's what I was
things like
thinking you were
that.
thinking, but I wasn't thinking
But
these Germans thought that, did they? But
I don't
anyway, there
know.
is maybe a little bit of that because he sees it in a dream. It brings him out of his home, and then he encounters like magical danger, right? So there is maybe something special about it, good or bad, right? It could be something sacred. So then, yeah, I know the stag well, and a little dog which had come out of the house with her barked at the man violently. "Will you be silent, you odious toad, or I will shoot you dead?" I feel like that's like a test that he doesn't pass, Like,
Because it seemed really funny, like a funny test or a
yeah,
funny way to provoke the witch.
yeah. I don't really think that I've encountered this particular kind of thing in a fairy tale.
Mm.
Usually the witch is kind of barren, and now she has this little dog with her. And then so yeah, he threatens a little dog, and then that's when she turns him into a stone. But yeah, don't you feel like this is like a test that he hasn't passed or something? He's supposed to be going after the noble stag, and then he is barked at by a little dog and he loses his temper or something.
Mhm.
He can't I think maybe that's the point. He can't keep his mind on the stag. He forgets why he went out. And that's
Mhm.
maybe what the real danger was. So in the first forest, the danger was him being waylaid and killed or killed and robbed, sort of like basically everything taken from him, you can say, like his life and his value. He is gold after all. And then in this forest, the as when you have more skills and more confidence and you survived more situations, there is various threats, like of hubris, which he shows with the dog, and of losing your focus, losing the thread of why you're doing what you're doing. There's a story that um, Ian and I did in another podcast about, I think it was Dionysus going down into the underworld, and he needs to, anyway, it was someone going down into the underworld, and they need to kind of, we concluded that the story means that you need to remember why you went down there, because it's easy to forget that, right? With all the terrible things that you'll see over there. And also, forgetting is associated with death, not only commonsensically, but also in the Greek underworld. I think they had to drink from a certain pool and they would forget everything. In the story that Ian and I did, he has to go past that pool to another pool and he drinks from that one, and that's associated with remembering or something. And we linked it to like sati, which is the the word that we translate as mindfulness, and which is linked uh, to remembering. But anyway, getting back to this story, yeah, what do you think about that? That his challenge here was to not forget what he had set out for, maybe the sacred stag or whatever it is. He had an aim given to him from somewhere important, deep unconscious, or a god or something. He goes out, he is warned by the wife, be careful. But that he might, she begged him to stay, you might easily meet a great misfortune. But then he said his characteristic line, I must and will go. But then, yeah, he loses his way and he threatens to kill a witch's dog, and then he's turned into a stone. But yeah, what do you think about all that?
I thought maybe it was just kind of showing the strengths and weaknesses of each brother. Uh,
Yeah. So what do you think is the weakness of this brother?
and like you said, like arrogance. That's this brother's weakness. But the other brother was overly cautious to the point of kind of being cowardly in a way and going back home. So, but it that maybe that brother would have been more cautious in that situation. But now that the this other brother is in trouble, it's an opportunity for the other brother to show his strength and kind of make up for running away. And
Yeah.
maybe this brother will learn to be less arrogant.